On a quiet afternoon, have you ever sat by the window, watching people pass by, and wondered, why do I meet certain people? Are these encounters, conversations, or even the pain they bring merely random? Or is there a deeper reason, one that only time will reveal? In the vast river of life, every person we meet carries a purpose. Some come to light our way, like a warm ray of sunshine on a cold winter day. Others, however, leave us with scars that force us to grow resilient and strong. Whether through love or pain, each meeting shapes the person you become. Today, I won't tell you a fairy tale or share distant philosophies. Instead, we'll embark on a journey to explore the meaning of two special kinds of encounters. The ones with those who love you and those who hurt you. Both are silent teachers, helping you uncover the profound truths of your life. There's a story about a Zen master and a thief that I'd like to share. It begins on a bright moonlit night, deep in a quiet forest, when the Zen master found a thief rummaging through his belongings. He didn't grow angry. Instead, he handed the thief his coat and said, "The road home will be cold. Take this with you." Have you ever considered how such compassion not only transforms the thief but also brings peace to the master himself? Our journey today is not just to listen but to reflect, to feel, and to piece together the fragments of your own life. Ask yourself, were the people you've met placed there to make you better? And if not, how can you turn their presence into meaningful lessons? The meaning of encounters. In the hustle and bustle of life, we unintentionally or intentionally pass by hundreds, even thousands, of faces. Some encounters make our hearts flutter, like finding light in the darkness, while others leave painful scars. But have you ever stopped to wonder if all of this is truly random? Could it be that every person who crosses our path carries a unique mission, as if they were placed there to teach us something about ourselves? In Buddhist philosophy, nothing happens without cause and connection. Even a falling leaf is the result of the wind, the season, and change. So, when someone enters your life, even briefly, it is never by chance. Those who bring love and kindness are sources of inspiration and guiding light. Those who cause pain are not cruel enemies but invisible teachers, helping to forge resilience and guiding us to look deeper within ourselves. One moonlit night, in a quiet forest, a Zen master returned to his humble hut after a day of meditation. As he approached the door, he noticed the shadow of a stranger, a thief rummaging through his sparse belongings. But the Zen master's home held nothing of value, as he lived with only the bare essentials. When the thief turned to leave, disappointed, he was startled to see the Zen master standing there. Instead of shouting or showing anger, the master calmly removed his coat and said, "You've come a long way to get here. The night is cold. Take this coat to keep yourself warm." The thief froze in shock. Awkwardly, he took the coat and disappeared into the night. The next morning, the Zen master found the coat neatly folded outside his door. Something extraordinary had happened. The master's compassion had sparked a glimmer of repentance in the thief's heart. Perhaps under the bright moonlight that night, the thief reflected deeply. This story is more than an act of forgiveness. It is a reminder of the transformative power of compassion. When we respond to pain with kindness, we not only heal others but also bring peace to ourselves. Forgiveness is not a sign of weakness. It requires immense inner strength. Only a heart that is open and expansive can hold both the joy and pain that others bring. Perhaps in your own life, you've encountered people who have hurt you, a friend who betrayed you, a broken relationship, or even a family member who caused you sorrow. These wounds might have made you question the value of love and trust. But from another perspective, could you see that those very wounds became the source of your strength and growth? I once heard a story about a young woman who was constantly criticized by her demanding boss. Each day at work felt like a challenge, every meeting a nightmare. But instead of giving up, she chose to learn from the feedback. She spent extra hours improving her skills and performance. A year later, not only was she recognized as one of the top employees, but she was also promoted. That once harsh boss became someone she deeply appreciated for pushing her to excel. Buddhism teaches that the hardships we face are not meant to destroy us but to refine us. Just as a pearl is formed through the irritation of a grain of sand, humans too grow and shine through adversity. It is in these challenging moments that we discover our inner strength and learn to stand firm against life's storms. Reflect on the people who have walked through your life. Those who love you have likely left behind beautiful memories and moments of happiness. They are the reason you believe life is still filled with goodness. Remember to thank them, not just with words but through actions. A phone call to check in, a thoughtful message on a special day, or simple, genuine care can strengthen those bonds. And what about those who caused you pain? They, too, deserve gratitude not for what they did, but for what you learned because of them. They taught you that life is not always rosy, that to grow, you must face pain and move forward. Forgiving them is not about freeing them, it's about freeing yourself from the chains of resentment. Every encounter holds a profound meaning, whether good or bad. If someone brings you joy, cherish it. If someone brings you pain, learn to appreciate it. After all, each experience is a part of the tapestry of life, essential in shaping who we are. When you begin to view every meeting as a lesson in life, you'll realize that no one truly leaves you without leaving a mark. So the next time someone enters your life, whether they bring light or shadow, remember that they are part of your journey, helping you to grow and become whole. And when you look back, you might find that these encounters, no matter how brief or painful, were gifts in disguise, the encounters that shape our lives. Life, like a winding river passing through unknown lands, flows with twists and turns. Each bend introduces us to new encounters. Some people light up the path ahead, while others leave painful marks on our hearts. Yet all of them carry meaning. Just as a river cannot flow in a straight line forever, these encounters shape who we are. And one day, when you look back, you'll realize that no one enters your life by chance. The people who bring you light. Imagine a pitch-black room where you can see nothing but darkness. Suddenly, a sliver of light enters, illuminating everything. That is the role of the people who bring light into your life. They don't just make you feel loved but ignite hope, helping you see your own potential. They are the quiet companions, as essential as lighthouses guiding a small boat through an uncertain sea. Take the story of Steve Jobs, for example. When he was ousted from Apple, the very company he founded, it was a devastating blow. For a long time, Steve wrestled with feelings of failure and loss. Yet, during this challenging period, he met incredible friends and collaborators at Next and Pixar, people who believed in his talent and supported his bold ideas. In 1996, when Steve returned to Apple, he brought not only creativity but also the loyal team that had stood by him. Together, they revolutionized technology with innovations like the iPhone. Without those people who believed in him during his darkest moments, could Steve have single-handedly reshaped the tech world? In Buddhism, those who bring light into our lives are called spiritual friends, individuals who guide and inspire us, helping us overcome struggles and move closer to enlightenment. They remind us that no matter how challenging life gets, there is always light at the end of the tunnel. Their presence is a gentle nudge reminding us, you are not alone. Sometimes, the people who bring light don't make grand gestures. They might simply be a friend who listens. On days when you feel the world has turned its back on you, they sit beside you, not needing to say much, just being there. A hand to hold or a few kind words can pull you out of the darkest places. Have you ever had a friend like that? Someone you can call at 2 a.m. just to say you're not okay? Someone who remembers the little details you've shared and uses them to remind you how special you are? Such friends, in Buddhism, help cultivate compassion within us, because only when we feel warmth can we truly share love with others. The people who hurt you. If light brings joy, darkness teaches resilience. The people who hurt you, whether intentionally or not, leave scars that are hard to forget. But it's through those very wounds that you learn to rise and grow stronger. They are not enemies but tests, lessons life presents to challenge your courage and patience. Consider the story of Oprah Winfrey. As a young woman, she faced unimaginable hardship and trauma, including abuse and rejection. Yet, instead of letting pain define her, Oprah used those experiences as fuel to transform her life. She not only became one of the most influential media personalities in the world, but also a source of hope for millions. Her struggles taught her empathy and resilience, enabling her to connect deeply with others. Her story reminds us that pain is not an enemy but a teacher. It forces us to confront our inner strength and ask ourselves, how far can we go? In Buddhism, suffering is viewed as an inescapable part of life. The Buddha taught, suffering is the first noble truth, but suffering isn't meant to defeat us. It is meant to teach us and help us grow in compassion and wisdom. No one understands this better than the Dalai Lama. As a young leader, he witnessed the invasion of Tibet, forcing him to flee his homeland and live in exile. The pain he endured wasn't just personal, it was the collective suffering of his people. Yet, instead of succumbing to anger, he chose the path of compassion. His message of peace and forgiveness has inspired millions worldwide. The Dalai Lama's story shows us that pain, when approached with understanding, can lead to profound transformation. Pain, when viewed positively, is not an end but a gateway to new possibilities. Just as diamonds shine brightest after being cut and polished, people grow strongest after facing their struggles. The encounters in our lives, whether they bring light or darkness, are invaluable gifts. Those who bring light help us feel warmth and hope. Those who bring darkness teach us strength and confidence to move forward. Life is a series of lessons, and these people play a crucial role in shaping us. No one is insignificant. No one is accidental. So, if you can, take a moment to thank those who have crossed your path, both the ones who loved you and the ones who hurt you, because in their own unique ways, they have all contributed to the person you are today. The three great pitfalls in life. Life is like a long journey filled with winding roads, smooth stretches, and steep hills. Along the way, everyone dreams of achieving success, joy, and happiness. However, success rarely stems from grand dreams. Instead, it often begins with small, everyday habits. Similarly, failure does not usually arise from dramatic events but from subtle, seemingly harmless patterns of behavior that silently erode our lives. Among these, the three fastest routes to failure are extravagance and wastefulness, laziness and dependence, and arrogance and conceit. Imagine walking into a room filled with dazzling gold and silver objects, yet there is no one there to share the joy with you. Would you truly feel happy? Extravagance may offer fleeting satisfaction, but it never leads to lasting fulfillment. The more we chase after luxury and showmanship, the easier it becomes to lose touch with our core values. Take the story of Warren Buffett, one of the wealthiest people in the world, as a striking example of simplicity and frugality. Despite his immense fortune, Buffett lives in the same modest house he bought decades ago and drives an ordinary car. His focus has always been on building lasting value rather than indulging in lavish lifestyles. By staying grounded, Buffett teaches us that true wealth lies not in what we own but in how we use it to create meaningful change. In Buddhist teachings, material desires are considered a primary source of suffering. The Buddha once said, "Contentment is the greatest wealth." By living simply, we learn to appreciate what we have and avoid being trapped in the endless cycle of wanting more. With our minds free from the distractions of extravagance, we can focus on what truly matters: peace of mind, love, and our relationships with others. In a lush green meadow, there were two horses tasked with pulling carts. One horse worked tirelessly through scorching heat and pouring rain, while the other walked slowly, frequently stopping to rest. Eventually, the owner moved all the goods onto the diligent horse's cart, leaving the lazy one unburdened. But not long after, the owner wondered, "Why should I keep such a useless horse?" And so, the lazy horse was sent away. This may sound harsh, but the story reflects an undeniable truth. Laziness is the quickest path to failure. Lazy individuals not only jeopardize their own future, but also place an unfair burden on those around them. If you refuse to take steps forward, how can you ever hope to reach your destination? Laziness is not just the act of doing nothing. It is also avoiding responsibility and abandoning meaningful goals for the comfort of temporary ease. In Buddhist philosophy, laziness is considered one of the major obstacles to enlightenment. Like stagnant water, a lazy mind becomes murky and unproductive, unable to grow or thrive. On the other hand, diligence can transform everything. A person who works steadily and progresses step by step, no matter how small the steps, will always achieve something worthwhile. Hard work not only brings results but also gives life a sense of purpose. It is not the work itself but the attitude of effort that defines who you are. George Armstrong Custer, a famous figure in American history, serves as a cautionary tale about the dangers of arrogance. Custer, a U.S. Army officer during the Civil War, became overconfident in his abilities and underestimated his enemies. This hubris led him to make reckless decisions, culminating in the disastrous Battle of the Little Bighorn, where he and his entire battalion were defeated. His downfall was not due to a lack of skill, but his inability to see his own weaknesses and respect his adversaries. This story highlights the perils of arrogance. Overconfidence not only blinds you to reality, but also alienates those who might have supported you. Arrogance is like a veil that clouds your judgment, preventing you from recognizing your flaws and seizing opportunities to grow. Similarly, consider the story of Thomas Edison, who, despite his incredible success as an inventor, remained humble and open to learning from his failures. Edison famously said, "I have not failed. I've just found 10,000 ways that won't work." His humility allowed him to persevere and ultimately succeed where others would have given up. Buddhism teaches that arrogance is one of the greatest barriers to wisdom and compassion. A humble person, like a river that flows to lower ground, can accept and learn from everything. Humility opens the door to deeper connections with others and fosters an environment where growth and collaboration thrive. When we reflect on these pitfalls, extravagance, laziness, and arrogance, we see that they are more than just bad habits. They are dangerous traps. They pull us away from our core values and lead us astray on our journey to a meaningful life. By embracing simplicity, working diligently, and practicing humility, we not only avoid these traps but also build a life filled with purpose and fulfillment. Remember, success is not about external displays of wealth or status, but about inner strength and a commitment to continuous growth. Life's greatest triumphs often come from small, consistent efforts fueled by authenticity and determination.
Lessons from karma and impermanence. Have you ever paused to reflect on your life and wondered, are the things I'm experiencing now the result of my past actions? Will the dreams I nurture today come true someday? In every small moment, the choices we make are like seeds planted for the future. Karma is not a mystical force. It is the natural law of cause and effect, woven into the fabric of our lives and the essence of our souls. Picture a farmer standing in an open field. In his hands, he holds seeds. With care, he plants them, waters the soil, and tends to the crops with love and dedication. Over time, the seeds sprout, grow, and eventually yield a bountiful harvest. This is the fruit of his labor. But imagine if the farmer instead sowed weeds. When the season comes, what would he reap but a field of thorns and chaos? Karma in life works the same way. Every action, no matter how small, produces a corresponding result. If you live with sincerity and treat others kindly, you'll receive warmth and love in return. On the other hand, if you act selfishly or with hatred, what you'll get back is loneliness and pain. This isn't a lofty philosophy. It's a truth that each of us can observe when we look back on our lives. In Buddhist teachings, karma goes beyond grand actions. The Buddha taught that even a single thought has the power to create karma. When you nurture positive thoughts, you're planting seeds of goodness. But when your mind is clouded by anger or envy, you're creating future storms for yourself. Consider a simple smile you give to someone. It may be a small gesture to you, But for someone having a difficult day, it could be a ray of light. What you do today, even as small as a smile, can change your future. Karma teaches us that nothing happens by chance. A successful person isn't merely lucky. A happy person isn't simply blessed by fate. Everything they achieve is the result of their choices, actions, and dedication. Whether it's career success, love, or health, all of it begins with the seeds you plant today. While karma is an unchanging law, impermanence reminds us of life's constant transformation. Nothing in this world lasts forever. Moments of joy will fade, but even pain won't endure forever. Impermanence is an undeniable truth, whether you follow Buddhist philosophy or not. Think about a tea leaf. Before it becomes a fragrant cup of tea, it endures many challenges. It faces scorching sun, heavy rains, is plucked, rolled, and dried under intense heat. But through this process, it gains its unique aroma, becoming a cherished drink. People are no different. We cannot grow without hardships. It is through these challenges that we come to understand the true value of happiness. Impermanence is not just about change, but also a reminder to cherish what we have. When was the last time you paused to admire a sunset? That moment, though fleeting, carries the beauty of an entire day. Have you ever held a loved one's hand and truly felt their warmth? Impermanence reminds us that such moments will never come again, making them priceless. In Buddhism, impermanence is not a source of fear, but a gateway to liberation. When you understand that everything changes, you stop clinging to what no longer serves you. You learn to let go, to live fully in the present. Like a river that constantly flows, life is always moving, and so are we. Change is the only constant, and in embracing it, we find peace. Look at your life. Whatever you're experiencing, whether it's joy or sorrow, has its reason. Whatever you hope for, big or small, begins with the choices you make today. Plant seeds of kindness, nurture them with love and patience, and when challenges arise, remember that impermanence will see you through. Nothing lasts forever, and that's precisely what makes every moment so valuable. Karma and impermanence are not distant philosophies. They are companions on your journey. They remind us that life is not just about what we receive, but also about what we give. When you live with this awareness, you create not only a brighter future for yourself, but also spread light to those around you. Applying philosophy to real life. Life is never a sequence of perfect, peaceful days. We face heartbreak, loss, and sometimes, the deepest wounds come from the people we love the most. But what if we chose to see these moments not as injustices, but as necessary lessons? Buddhist philosophy teaches that life's challenges are not here to destroy us, but to help us grow. How we respond to pain ultimately shapes the path we take forward. There's a classic story about a bowl of water that carries a profound lesson in Buddhist philosophy. A man carefully carried a bowl filled to the brim, trying not to spill a single drop. Suddenly, someone bumped into him, and the water splashed out. In that instant, he felt anger and blamed the other person for their carelessness. But as he calmed down, a thought struck him. If my bowl had been more stable, would the water have spilled at all? He realized that instead of blaming others, he could thank them for revealing his own vulnerabilities. This story isn't just about a bowl of water, it's about our inner selves. Every time someone hurts you, instead of reacting with anger, ask yourself, what is this teaching me? Maybe you'll see the need to manage your emotions better. Perhaps you'll recognize the unrealistic expectations you've placed on others. Or maybe you'll understand that you've been careless in nurturing a relationship. Whatever the pain, it offers an opportunity to look inward, grow, and improve. Practicing compassion is not easy, especially when you face those who've hurt you. But Buddhism teaches that forgiveness isn't a gift for others, it's a gift for yourself. Holding on to resentment is like clutching a burning coal, hoping it will harm someone else, while it only burns you instead. Think of a dedicated doctor caring for patients. At times, those in pain may lash out in anger or frustration. Yet the doctor remains calm and kind, knowing that these emotions are temporary reactions to suffering. Compassion allows the doctor not only to excel at their work, but also to maintain inner peace. Often, those same patients later express deep gratitude for the patience and care they received. When you practice compassion, you free yourself from the weight of resentment. You are no longer controlled by others' actions or trapped in the past. Compassion is not just about forgiving those who've hurt you, but also forgiving yourself, your mistakes, unmet expectations, and moments of weakness. Life is not always easy, but every time you face pain, remember that you have a choice. You can let it break you, or you can let it teach you. Each act of compassion, each moment of forgiveness, not only releases you from suffering, but also plants seeds of goodness for the future. Buddhism teaches that forgiveness and compassion not only bring peace to your soul, but also spread positivity to the world around you. Reflection and inspiration. Have you ever wondered why the most extraordinary people enter your life at the most unexpected times? Perhaps it was a friend who lifted you up when you fell, or someone who broke your heart but taught you to be stronger. Everyone who comes into your life has a purpose, whether you realize it or not. In Buddhist philosophy, nothing happens by chance. Every encounter is woven into the tapestry of life by the threads of karma and destiny, each with a deeper meaning for your growth. Think about the first person in your life who made you feel unconditional love. It might have been a parent, a mentor, or a close friend. They showed you what genuine care looks like, lighting up your darkest days. These people don't just bring happiness. They teach you how to love, how to share a piece of yourself without expecting anything in return. That kind of love is like a flame that spreads warmth, making your heart brighter and inspiring you to pass that light to others. But life isn't always filled with love. There are those who enter your life like storms, causing pain, sometimes unintentionally, sometimes deliberately. These wounds may make you cry or doubt yourself, but if you take a moment to reflect, you'll see that these people are also essential to your journey. They are invisible teachers, giving you some of life's most valuable lessons. They may have taught you how to rise after a fall, how to forgive, or simply how to protect yourself better. It is the interplay of love and pain that shapes who you are. Without moments of sweetness, you wouldn't know how to cherish happiness. Without the sting of hardship, you wouldn't understand the strength within you. Like a pearl that becomes radiant only after enduring friction with sand, people grow and mature through life's extremes. Try to see every encounter as a gift from life, even if that gift is wrapped in sadness or loss. When you learn to accept those who come and go as part of your journey, life feels lighter. No longer weighed down by blame or regret, you'll begin to see the value in every moment. A hug from an old friend, a disagreement with a coworker, or even a smile from a stranger, all are pieces of the greater puzzle that is your life. Buddhist philosophy emphasizes the importance of living with compassion and forgiveness. Forgiveness is not about excusing others. It's about freeing yourself from the chains of anger and resentment. When you forgive, you reclaim your inner peace, releasing your heart from old wounds. Compassion isn't just a virtue, it's the path to inner harmony. By loving even those who've hurt you, you transform pain into strength and darkness into light. Life's journey is never straightforward. There will be days when you feel like the world is against you, moments when you want to give up. But remember, it is in those difficult times that you grow the most. You are learning to face yourself, to love yourself, and to find meaning in what seems meaningless. Every encounter, every challenge, is part of your journey to self-discovery. Don't let setbacks discourage you. Remember that you are not defined by what happens to you, but by how you respond. To live fully is not to live without suffering, but to grow and learn from what life gives you. When you begin to see life through the lens of compassion and forgiveness, you'll realize that everyone who enters your life has a unique role. They teach you how to love, how to be strong, and, most importantly, how to become the best version of yourself. This is the simple yet profound truth of life, a truth that takes time to truly understand.
Have you ever sat down and thanked the people who hurt you? It may sound strange, but they've made you stronger. The pain you've endured might feel like barren soil, but it's from this very ground that your tree of life grows sturdier and taller. Each hurt is a lesson. Every tear is water nurturing your growth. And what about those who love you? They're the sunlight and gentle rain in your life. Don't just appreciate them with words. Show them through action. A hug, a heartfelt thank you, or even a quiet moment together can speak volumes. Life isn't long, But it's not too short to miss the chance to understand yourself and those around you. Remember, every meeting, whether joyful or painful, has its purpose. If someone has hurt you, ask yourself, what are they teaching me? How can I become a better version of myself because of this? As this video ends, I hope you won't just see life through the same eyes, but through a renewed soul. A soul that cherishes those who love it, forgives those who hurt it, and embraces every encounter as an essential part of its journey. So, here's a final question. If tomorrow you meet someone who once hurt you, would you be strong enough to thank them for the valuable lessons they've given you? I believe you'll find the answer, not in words, but in your actions and how you choose to live from this moment on. See you on another journey, one where you'll not only discover others, but also uncover the truest version of yourself. Red Heart.